All right, so you're ready to dive deep into this whole financial success thing, huh? You sent over some chapters from a book. Looks like it's got some pretty interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, it's packed with insights, for sure.
Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to pull out the really good stuff, the actionable advice, those intriguing little nuggets.
And trust me, there are some real gems in here. One that really caught my eye was the emphasis on the subconscious mind, how much it impacts our ability to build wealth.
Oh, yeah, there's a quote here that I just loved. The subconscious mind is a fertile garden spot in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown therein.
Wow, that's powerful imagery right there. It really gets you thinking.
It does, and I think that's what the author's getting at with this whole idea of autosuggestion, how repeating certain thoughts can actually shape our subconscious.
Exactly. It's like if you're constantly thinking about lack or worrying about money, you're actually programming your subconscious for financial struggle.
So it's almost like we're setting ourselves up for failure without even realizing it.
In a way, yeah. But the good news is we can reprogram it. Consciously choose those desirable crops, the thoughts that align with abundance and success.
Okay, so how do we actually do that?
Well, one technique the book recommends is visualization. Like really vividly picturing the amount of money you want as if you already have it.
Feeling it, believing it. I mean, is that a bit like tricking the subconscious?
Maybe. But maybe it's more about aligning your conscious desires with your subconscious beliefs. When those two are in sync, that's when the magic happens.
I love that. So we've got our subconscious all prepped for success. What about the knowledge we need to actually make things happen in the real world? This book talks a lot about specialized knowledge and tells this really interesting story about Henry Ford being questioned in court. They were trying to paint him as ignorant.
Right. And Ford's response was brilliant. He basically said, why should I clutter my mind with general knowledge when I have experts on hand who can answer any question I have?
So it's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to access and utilize the right information.
Exactly. And knowing what your strengths are, what gaps you need to fill, maybe through collaboration with others. Think about Andrew Carnegie. He built a steel empire without being a steel expert himself.
Right, his whole mastermind group thing. He surrounded himself with brilliant minds in various fields.
It's a powerful strategy and one that's still relevant today. So think about it. What are your strengths? Who could be on your mastermind team?
This is where the book that's really fun, talking about the power of imagination. And this is where that Coca-Cola story comes in. Remember I mentioned that earlier?
Oh, yeah. I'm all ears.
So picture this, an old country doctor. He's got this secret formula for a drink, sells it, along with his special kettle and stirring paddle for $500 to this young drug clerk.
$500. That was probably his life savings back then.
Right. This formula, scribbled on a tiny piece of paper, had the key to something amazing. But here's the kicker. It wasn't the original formula that became Coca-Cola as we know it.
What do you mean?
It was the drug clerk, Asa Candler. He added his own little twist to the recipe. He saw the potential, but then he used his imagination to amplify it.
So it wasn't just following the recipe blindly. It was about taking that base and then adding his own vision, his own creative flair.
Exactly. And it makes you think how many amazing ideas are out there just waiting for someone with the right imagination to bring them to life. And that's where desire comes in, right? That burning drive to make it happen.
Absolutely. And the book has this other amazing story about a young preacher, Dr. Frank Gonzalez. He dreamed of starting a technical school.
And he needed $1 million to do it.
Back then, that was like an impossible amount of money.
Right. So what does he do? He preaches this powerful sermon, What I Would Do If I Had $1 Million. Laid out his entire vision, so much passion, so much detail.
And someone in the congregation was so moved, so inspired, that they gave him the money on the spot.
You got it. A guy named Philip D. Armour, and that's how the Armour Institute of Technology was born. Two very different stories, but with the same core message. Burning desire, crystal clear vision, and the belief that anything is possible. These weren't just fleeting thoughts, they were concrete goals, fueled by imagination and an unwavering belief in their power.
That's so inspiring. It's a reminder that when we combine passion with a well-defined vision, even seemingly impossible dreams can become a reality.
So we've got the desire, we've got the imagination, but what about the plan to make these dreams happen? That's what we'll dig into next.
So you've got this burning desire, this clear vision, but you also need a solid plan to make it all happen. The book really emphasizes the importance of organized planning, writing it all down and having a roadmap.
Makes sense, but does that mean it has to be rigid, like set in stone? What if things change along the way?
Well, that's the thing. It's not about creating this unchangeable document. It's more like a roadmap you can adjust as you go.
Mm.
You might hit detours or unexpected roadblocks, but as long as you keep that core vision in mind, you can navigate those challenges.
So it's about being flexible,
Uh,
adaptable. I like that.
Exactly. The book actually gives examples of famous entrepreneurs, people like Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. They faced tons of setbacks, but they ultimately succeeded because they were able to pivot, refine their strategies without losing sight of their goals.
So it's about having a plan, but also being willing to adapt and adjust as needed.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the inner game, our mindset, our beliefs, and the outer game, the knowledge and planning. But what about the skills we need to actually lead ourselves and maybe even others toward financial success? The book dives into these 11 attributes of successful leaders. There's a lot to unpack there.
There is. But one thing that really stood out to me was this shift from a go-getter mentality to a go-giver mentality. It's about focusing on providing value to others, not just chasing your own personal gain.
That's a powerful concept, and it seems to be gaining a lot of traction these days. It's about building genuine relationships, contributing to something larger than ourselves, finding fulfillment, and helping others succeed.
Exactly. And the book has this really interesting formula called the QQS. Formula stands for quality plus quantity plus spirit of service equals perfect salesmanship of service.
Wow. Break that down for me. What does that actually mean?
So it's essentially about understanding how to market your unique skills and knowledge in a way that benefits others. You become indispensable, not just because of what you do, but how you do it, with that spirit of service.
So it's not just about being good at something, it's about doing it with a genuine desire to help others.
Exactly. It ties back to that go-giver mentality. When you focus on providing value, on helping others achieve their goals, success naturally follows. And it's so relevant in today's world where relationships and authentic connections are so important.
It makes you think about how much customer service has changed over the years. The book even talks about how industries like railroads and banking, they used to have this public be damned attitude,
Right.
and now it's all about being customer-centric, putting the customer first.
It's a reflection of a bigger shift in society. People are looking for more than just products and services. They want genuine connection, they want value, and the businesses that get that are the ones that thrive.
Makes sense. So we've talked about what it takes to succeed, but this book also gets real about the potential pitfalls. It actually outlines 30 major causes of failure. I mean, it's a lot to take in.
It is. It can feel a bit overwhelming, but it's also a good reality check,
Hmm.
right? It forces you to be honest with yourself about your weaknesses.
Yeah, nobody likes to think about failure, but maybe if we can identify those potential pitfalls in advance, we can avoid them.
Exactly. So let's look at a few that might be particularly relevant. I think procrastination is a big one. We all struggle with that from time to time. And then there's the lack of persistence, giving up too soon when things get tough. And of course, the fear of competition can hold people back.
Those are definitely relatable. It's so easy to fall into those patterns, especially when you're facing uncertainty or you're afraid of failing.
Right. But the key is to be aware of those pitfalls. And then, more importantly, to develop strategies for overcoming them. Think about which of those resonate with you and how you can actively work to avoid them.
So it's not about dwelling on the negative, but about using this list as a tool for self-awareness and growth, right?
Exactly. Each pitfall is an opportunity to learn, to develop resilience, to strengthen your commitment to success.
There was one on the list that really stood out to me. Wrong selection of vocation. It made me think about how many people are stuck in jobs they hate because they didn't really take the time to figure out what they're passionate about.
That's a crucial point. The book talks about how important passion and enthusiasm are for success. When you genuinely love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. You're more creative, more persistent, more resilient.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills and interests align with what the world needs.
And that might take some exploration, some trial and error. It's a journey of self-discovery.
Absolutely. And it ties into another pitfall on the list, inability to cooperate with others. In today's world, collaboration is key. Building a strong network, finding mentors, surrounding yourself with supportive people, that's invaluable.
We see that over and over again in the stories of successful people. Carnegie's Mastermind group, the collaborative nature of the tech industry. It's rarely a solo endeavor.
It's about recognizing that we're stronger together, leveraging the collective intelligence of a group.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that QQS formula and that shift from go-getter to go-giver. It's not just about individual success, it's about contributing to something bigger, building relationships based on mutual benefit.
It makes me think about humility, recognizing the contributions of others. The book even warns against egotism and vanity as potential pitfalls.
Right, because no one achieves success in isolation. It's always a team effort. A true leader understands that. It's about celebrating the strengths of those around you, creating a culture of collaboration, not competition.
And what about creativity? Coming up with new ideas and solutions. The book mentions lack of imagination as a pitfall.
That's a big one. Especially in today's rapidly changing world, you need to be able to think outside the box, come up with innovative solutions.
It's about challenging the status quo, looking for new and better ways of doing things.
And being willing to experiment. Not being afraid to try new things.
Absolutely. But we also need to balance that with, being responsible. The book talks about indiscriminate spending as a pitfall. It's so easy to fall into that trap of living beyond your means.
Especially in today's consumer-driven society.
Right. Everywhere you turn, there's another tempting thing to buy.
So the book really emphasizes the importance of having a healthy relationship with money. It's not about hoarding wealth. It's about understanding how to use money as a tool to create the life you want.
And understanding the difference between needs and wants. Being able to delay gratification, making smart financial choices.
It's about having financial discipline, which ultimately gives you more freedom and options in the long run.
Okay, so you've got our finances in check. What about the people we surround ourselves with? The book talks about wrong selection of associates in business.
Yeah, the people you spend time with have a huge impact on your mindset, your beliefs, your success.
You've probably heard that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
It's so true. So be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle.
Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who are aligned with your values.
Exactly. People who challenge you to grow, who inspire you to be your best self.
And it's not just about the people you spend time with in person. It's also about the content you consume, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to.
It's all about feeding your mind with positive, empowering messages.
So let's shift gears a bit and talk about focus and productivity. The book brings up lack of concentration of effort as a major pitfall. It's so easy to get distracted these days with all the notifications and the constant stream of information.
It's information overload.
Right. It can feel impossible to focus on any one thing for too long.
So the book really stresses the importance of prioritizing, figuring out what your most important tasks are, and then focusing your energy on those.
And learning to say no to distractions and commitments that don't align with your goals.
Exactly. It's about being ruthless with your time and energy, making sure you're spending them on the things that truly matter.
Okay, so we've got focus, but what about decision-making? The book talks about the importance of having a well-defined power of decision. It argues that indecisiveness can be paralyzing, leading to missed opportunities.
So true. Indecision can really hold you back. It can keep you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and analysis paralysis.
It's like you're standing at a fork in the road, but you're so afraid of making the wrong choice that you just stay frozen in place.
Exactly. The book emphasizes the importance of making decisions quickly and confidently. Even if you don't have all the information, it's better to make a decision to move forward than to stay stuck in indecision.
And if it turns out to be the wrong decision, you can always course correct later.
Exactly. Every decision is a learning opportunity.
So decision-making is a skill that you develop over time, like a muscle that gets stronger with each decision you make.
Absolutely. And speaking of skills, let's talk about the importance of financial responsibility. The book brings up indiscriminate spending as a potential pitfall. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth emphasizing again.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of living beyond your means, especially when you're surrounded by messages that tell you to buy, buy, buy.
The book really encourages us to develop a healthy relationship with money. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about understanding how to use money as a tool to create the life you want.
And that means making conscious choices about how you spend your money, saving for the future, and investing wisely.
Now let's talk about one more pitfall that can really sabotage your success. Wrong selection of associates in business. We talked about the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people, but it's equally important to be aware of the negative influences in your life.
Sometimes you need to distance yourself from people who are draining your energy or holding you back.
It can be tough, but it's crucial for your own well-being and success.
It's about creating healthy boundaries, protecting your energy, and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up and support your dreams.
Now let's shift gears and talk about one of the most fundamental principles for success, self-control.
Self-control is essential for achieving anything worthwhile. It's about mastering your emotions, your impulses, your reactions.
It's about being in the driver's seat of your life, making conscious choices rather than reacting impulsively.
And it's not just about controlling negative behaviors, it's also about cultivating positive habits like discipline, perseverance, and focus.
The book argues that self-control is the foundation for all other virtues.
Without it, it's difficult to achieve anything meaningful.
So how do we develop self-control? The book suggests a variety of techniques, including meditation, visualization, affirmations, and goal setting.
It's about training your mind, like you would train your body at the gym.
And it takes practice, consistent effort over time.
But the rewards are well worth it.
Now this brings us to a somewhat controversial topic that the book addresses, the mystery of sex transmutation.
This is definitely not something you hear discussed in every self-help book.
Right. But the book argues that sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience, and that by learning to transmute this energy, you can achieve extraordinary results in other areas of your life.
So it's not about suppressing or denying your sexuality. It's about understanding how to channel that energy in a positive and productive way.
Exactly. The book suggests that you can transmute sexual energy into creativity, inspiration, motivation, and drive.
It's about harnessing that raw power and directing it towards your goals and aspirations.
The book provides several techniques for sex transmutation, including physical exercise, creative pursuits, goal setting, and service to others.
It's about finding healthy and constructive outlets for this powerful energy, allowing it to fuel your passions and your purpose.
Now let's move on to another crucial principle for success, the sixth sense.
Ah, the sixth sense. This is where things get really interesting.
The book describes the sixth sense as the ability to perceive information and guidance that's not accessible through the five physical senses. It's often referred to as intuition, gut feeling, or inner voice.
It's that knowing that comes from deep within, beyond logic and reason.
The book argues that the sixth sense is a powerful tool for decision-making, problem-solving, and creative expression.
It's about learning to trust your intuition, to listen to that inner voice that often speaks to us in whispers.
The book provides several techniques for developing and strengthening your sixth sense, including meditation, visualization, affirmations, and journaling.
These practices can help us quiet the mind, create space for intuitive insights to emerge, and learn to trust that inner voice.
It's about cultivating a deeper connection with ourselves, tapping into that source of wisdom and guidance that resides within.
And it's about recognizing that we have access to a vast reservoir of knowledge and insight that goes beyond our five physical senses.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on to the book's 13 Principles of Success, I want to emphasize the importance of self-analysis.
Self-analysis is crucial for growth and development. It's about taking an honest look at yourself, identifying your strengths and weaknesses, and being willing to put in the work to improve.
It's about becoming aware of your blind spots, those areas where you might be holding yourself back without even realizing it.
The book suggests asking for feedback from trusted friends, colleagues, and mentors. It also encourages keeping a journal, tracking your progress, and reflecting on your experiences.
It's about developing a growth mindset, embracing challenges as opportunities for learning, and being willing to constantly improve.
And it's about celebrating your successes along the way. Acknowledging your progress, no matter how small, helps you stay motivated and reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve your goals.
So we've laid the groundwork by exploring the potential pitfalls and emphasizing the importance of self-awareness. Are you ready to dive into the book's 13 Principles for Achieving Success?
Absolutely. Let's explore the strategies and techniques that can help us turn those dreams into reality.
Okay, let's start with the foundation of it all. Desire. The book emphasizes the importance of having a burning desire for what you want to achieve.
Desire is the fuel that propels you forward, the driving force behind all great accomplishments.
Without it, you're likely to give up when faced with obstacles or setbacks.
It's that fire in the belly, that unwavering passion that keeps you going even when things get tough.
Exactly. The book describes desire as a thought impulse that can be transformed into its physical equivalent through the power of the subconscious mind.
And it provides a 6-step process for cultivating and strengthening our desires, right?
Yes. It all starts with fixing in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be rich. Determine the precise amount you want to accumulate.
That level of clarity is crucial for setting a clear target for your subconscious mind to focus on.
Absolutely. Next, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There's no such thing as something for nothing.
It's about understanding that wealth creation is an exchange of value. What skills, knowledge, or talents can you offer that others are willing to pay for?
Then, establish a definite date by which you intend to possess the money you desire. Setting a deadline creates a sense of urgency and accountability.
It's about having a timeline, a roadmap that outlines your journey towards your financial goals.
Next, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start taking action today.
It's about overcoming procrastination and taking those first steps, no matter how small they might seem.
The fifth step is to write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for its acquisition, what you intend to give in return for the money, and the plan through which you intend to accumulate it.
Putting it in writing makes it more tangible, more real. It's a declaration of your commitment to achieving your financial goals.
And finally, read your written statement aloud, twice daily. Once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see, and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money.
This is where visualization comes in. It's about creating a vivid mental picture of yourself having already achieved your goal, allowing yourself to feel the emotions associated with that success.
Now, this six-step process might seem simple, even a bit woo-woo, but the book argues that it's a foundation for transforming intangible desires into tangible results.
It's about aligning your conscious and subconscious mind, creating a powerful emotional connection to your goals, and setting in motion the forces that will attract the money you desire.
Now, building on the power of desire, the book introduces the concept of faith as an essential ingredient for success.
Faith is that unwavering belief in the attainment of your desires, even when external circumstances might suggest otherwise. It's about trusting in the process, even when you can't see the full path ahead.
The book describes faith as a state of mind that can be induced by autosuggestion or repeated affirmations.
So even if you don't initially feel 100% certain that you'll achieve your goals, you can cultivate that belief through consistent positive self-talk.
The book suggests repeating affirmations that reinforce your belief in your ability to achieve your desires.
And it emphasizes the importance of visualizing your goals as if they've already been achieved.
Now, this might sound like wishful thinking, but the book argues that faith is a powerful force that can influence your subconscious mind and attract into your life the people, resources, and opportunities you need to succeed.
It's about creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where your belief in yourself and your goals paves the way for their realization.
Now, let's talk about another crucial principle for success: autosuggestion. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth exploring in more detail.
The book describes autosuggestion as the process of influencing your subconscious mind through repeated thoughts and emotions. It's about programming your mind for success by feeding it positive, empowering messages.
The book suggests using affirmations, visualization, and other techniques to implant these messages into your subconscious mind.
And it emphasizes the importance of repetition. The more you repeat these positive messages, the more deeply they become ingrained in your subconscious mind.
It's like creating a new neural pathway in your brain, one that leads to success and abundance.
The book argues that through consistent autosuggestion, you can overcome negative beliefs, develop new habits, and attract into your life the people, resources, and opportunities you need to achieve your goals.
Now, this brings us to another powerful principle: specialized knowledge. We talked about this earlier in the context of Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie, but it's worth revisiting in more depth.
The book emphasizes the importance of acquiring knowledge that's directly relevant to your goals. It's not about amassing a vast collection of random facts. It's about focusing on knowledge that you can apply to achieve specific outcomes.
The book suggests identifying the areas where you need to expand your knowledge and then seeking out the best possible sources of information, whether it's through books, courses, mentors, or practical experience.
And it stresses the importance of organizing and systematizing that knowledge so you can access it easily and apply it effectively.
It's about turning information into actionable intelligence that can help you solve problems, make better decisions, and achieve your goals.
Now, building on the principle of specialized knowledge, the book introduces the concept of imagination as a powerful tool for success.
Imagination is the ability to create mental images and scenarios that don't yet exist in the physical world. It's the workshop of the mind where ideas are born, plans are hatched, and dreams take shape.
It's that spark of creativity that allows us to see beyond the limitations of our current reality and to envision a future where anything is possible.
The book distinguishes between two types of imagination: synthetic imagination and creative imagination.
So it's not just about having a wild imagination. It's about understanding how to use our imagination in a focused and productive way.
Exactly. Synthetic imagination is the ability to combine existing ideas and concepts into new combinations. It's the type of imagination that inventors, entrepreneurs, and artists use to create new products, services, and works of art.
It's about taking what already exists and seeing it in a new light, finding innovative ways to combine and reimagine those elements.
Creative imagination, on the other hand, is the ability to tap into a higher source of intelligence, to receive inspiration and guidance from beyond the realm of conscious thought.
This is where things get really mystical. It's about accessing that deeper well of creativity, that source of inspiration that seems to come from beyond ourselves.
The book suggests that creative imagination is the source of all great breakthroughs, inventions, and artistic masterpieces.
It's that flash of insight, that aha moment where a brilliant idea seems to appear out of thin air.
The book provides several techniques for developing and strengthening your imagination, including visualization, affirmations, brainstorming, and mind mapping.
So it's not just about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about actively cultivating our imagination through these practices.
By regularly engaging in these exercises, you can cultivate your imagination and unleash your creative potential.
Okay, so we've got desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, and imagination. It seems like we're building a pretty solid foundation for success. What's next?
Well, all of these elements need to be channeled into a clear and actionable plan. The book emphasizes the importance of organized planning.
That makes sense. It's like having all the ingredients for a delicious meal, but needing a recipe to bring it all together.
Exactly. The book suggests breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable steps, and then creating a timeline for completing each step.
It's about taking that big, audacious goal and turning it into a series of actionable steps that you can take consistently, day by day.
And it stresses the importance of having a system for tracking your progress, making adjustments as needed, and staying accountable to your plan.
It's about having a roadmap, but also being flexible and adaptable along the way.
The book also highlights the importance of seeking out the cooperation of others. No one achieves great things alone.
It's about recognizing that we're stronger together, that collaboration and teamwork can amplify our efforts and lead to greater success.
It suggests building a mastermind group, surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and who can offer support, advice, and encouragement.
It's about creating a supportive and inspiring network of individuals who are committed to each other's success.
And it stresses the importance of clear communication, both within your mastermind group and with anyone else who's involved in helping you achieve your goals.
Clear communication is crucial for avoiding misunderstandings, staying aligned, and ensuring everyone is moving in the same direction.
Now, building on the principle of organized planning, the book introduces the concept of decision as a crucial skill for success.
Decision-making can feel daunting, especially when we're faced with complex choices or uncertain outcomes.
Indecision is a major obstacle to achievement. It can paralyze you with fear, doubt, and procrastination.
It's like being stuck at a crossroads, unable to choose a path, and therefore remaining stagnant.
The book argues that the ability to make clear, confident decisions is essential for moving forward and achieving your goals.
So it's not just about making the right decision every time. It's about developing the ability to make decisions efficiently and effectively.
It suggests developing a system for making decisions, such as gathering all the relevant information, weighing the pros and cons of each option, trusting your intuition, and making a decision and sticking to it.
It's about having a framework, a process that you can rely on when faced with a decision rather than getting bogged down in analysis paralysis.
The book also emphasizes the importance of learning from your decisions, both the successful ones and the ones that don't turn out as planned.
It's about viewing each decision as a learning opportunity, a chance to refine your decision-making process and to become more confident in your choices.
Every decision is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve your decision-making skills for the future.
So, decision-making is not a one-and-done skill. It's something we continually refine and improve upon as we gain experience and learn from our mistakes.
Now, this brings us to another crucial principle for success: persistence.
Persistence, that grit and determination to keep going even when things get tough, is something we see in the stories of almost every successful individual.
Persistence is the ability to keep going, even when faced with obstacles, setbacks, and failures. It's the unwavering determination to achieve your goals no matter what.
It's about not giving up on your dreams, even when the path gets rocky or you encounter unexpected detours.
The book argues that persistence is the quality that separates those who succeed from those who give up.
It's that inner strength that allows us to push through challenges, to learn from our setbacks, and to keep moving forward towards our goals.
It suggests developing a mindset of resilience, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, and refusing to allow setbacks to derail your progress.
It's about reframing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than viewing them as insurmountable obstacles.
The book also highlights the importance of maintaining a positive attitude, focusing on your goals, and celebrating your successes along the way.
It's about staying motivated, keeping your eyes on the prize, and acknowledging your progress, no matter how small.
It's about reminding yourself why you started in the first place, and refusing to let anything stand in the way of your dreams.
Now, building on the principle of persistence, the book introduces the concept of the power of the mastermind as a powerful tool for success.
The mastermind is the collective intelligence and creativity of a group of people who come together to achieve a common goal.
We've talked about the power of collaboration before, but this takes it to another level. It's about creating a synergy, a collective energy that propels everyone forward.
The book suggests that by forming a mastermind group, you can tap into a synergistic force that's greater than the sum of its parts.
It's about leveraging the diverse perspectives, experiences, and knowledge of each member to generate innovative ideas, solve problems, and achieve breakthroughs that might not be possible individually.
It provides guidelines for forming and maintaining a mastermind group, including choosing members who share your vision and values, establishing clear goals and objectives, meeting regularly and consistently, maintaining open and honest communication, and supporting and encouraging each other.
It's about creating a space where everyone feels safe to share their ideas, to offer and receive feedback, and to work together towards a shared vision.
The book argues that by harnessing the power of the mastermind, you can achieve greater success than you ever could on your own.
Now, this brings us to another crucial principle for success, the mystery of sex transmutation.
This is a controversial topic, but the book argues that sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience, and that by learning to channel this energy into other pursuits, you can achieve extraordinary results.
It's about understanding that sexual energy is a powerful force that can be harnessed and directed towards our goals and aspirations.
The book suggests that sex transmutation is not about suppressing or denying your sexual desires. It's about transforming that energy into creative energy, motivation, and drive.
It's about finding healthy and constructive outlets for this powerful energy, allowing it to fuel our creativity, our drive, and our passion for life.
It provides several techniques for sex transmutation, including
Physical exercise. Channel your sexual energy into physical activities that release endorphins and boost your energy levels.
creative pursuits. Pour your passion and energy into artistic endeavors such as writing, painting, music, or dance.
Goal setting. Focus your energy on achieving your goals and ambitions.
Service to others. Channel your energy into helping others and making a positive impact on the world.
These techniques provide a variety of options for redirecting that energy in ways that align with our values and goals.
The book argues that through sex transmutation, you can tap into a powerful source of energy and motivation that can help you achieve extraordinary things.
Okay, so we've covered desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, the mastermind, and sex transmutation. It seems like we're building a comprehensive toolkit for success. What's next?
Well, all of these principles and techniques are designed to help us tap into a powerful source of wisdom and guidance that's often overlooked. The sixth sense.
The sixth sense. That's fascinating. It's something we often hear about in mystical or spiritual contexts, but the book presents it as a practical tool for success.
The sixth sense is the ability to perceive information and guidance that's not accessible through the five physical senses. It's often described as intuition, gut feeling, or inner voice.
It's that feeling of knowing something without being able to explain logically how you know it. It's that inner compass that guides us towards the right decisions and actions.
The book suggests that the sixth sense is a powerful tool for decision-making, problem-solving, and creative expression.
It's about learning to trust our intuition, to listen to that inner voice that often speaks to us in whispers.
It provides several techniques for developing and strengthening your sixth sense, including meditation, visualization, affirmations, and journaling.
So it's not just about passively waiting for our intuition to kick in, it's about actively cultivating that inner connection through these practices.
By regularly engaging in these exercises, you can quiet the mind, create space for intuitive insights to emerge, and learn to trust that inner voice.
Meditation is a great way to quiet the mind and to create a space for intuition to arise. Visualization can help us connect with our desired outcomes on an emotional level, allowing our intuition to guide us towards their realization. Affirmations can help us reinforce our belief in our intuition, strengthening that inner knowing. Wow, we've really gone deep on this, haven't we? From the subconscious mind to organized planning, those 13 principles, even the sixth sense.
There's a lot to unpack here, that's for sure. But it's also fascinating, isn't it?
It is. What really stuck with me is that idea of autosuggestion. Like, we actually have the power to reprogram our minds.
It's powerful stuff, right? Like if we're constantly thinking about lack or worrying about money, we're actually attracting more of that into our lives.
It's like we're literally creating our reality with our thoughts.
Exactly. But the good news is we can shift those thoughts. We can start focusing on abundance, on success, on all the things we want to manifest in our lives.
And that ties into having a definite purpose, right? Like, if we don't have a clear vision for what we want, it's easy to get sidetracked.
Absolutely. The book really hammered that point home, setting clear goals, breaking them down into smaller steps, having a plan.
And then taking action consistently, even when things get tough.
Persistence is key. That grit, that determination to keep going, even when you face obstacles.
It's about not giving up on your dreams, even when the path gets a little bumpy.
And having faith, believing in yourself, believing in your vision, even when things aren't going exactly as planned.
It's about trusting the process, knowing that you're on the right track, even if you can't see the finish line just yet.
All these principles are so interconnected, aren't they? It's like they all work together to create this powerful force for achievement.
It's like a recipe for success. You need all the right ingredients in the right amounts to create something truly amazing.
And just like a chef needs to master different cooking techniques, we need to develop the skills and strategies that will help us reach our goals.
It's about blending that inner work, our mindset, our beliefs, with the outer work, the knowledge, the planning, the actions.
I'm so excited for you to start applying these principles in your own life. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question. What unique skills or knowledge can you offer to the world in a spirit of service? What will your QQS formula be?
That's a great question. It's about taking all that we've learned and using it to make a positive impact on the world, to create something meaningful, to leave our mark. This is just the beginning of your journey, and there's a whole world of possibilities out there.